How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a special edition episode of Coach Mike and OB Podcast. We decided to have this special episode today because a very historic moment has happened in the NBA a couple of days ago. Um, Steph Curry of the Golden State Warriors has broken the all-time three-point scoring record, previously had by Ray Allen, and then before that, Reggie Miller. Um, it's a huge accomplishment. Such a big accomplishment that we decided to jump on a podcast right away and talk about it. For some of you guys that know, obviously who know Steph Curry, greatest shooter of all time, hands down. Coming out of college, his progression in the NBA, being loyal with the Golden State Warriors his entire career has made him easily a Hall of Famer and easily the greatest shooter of all time. Brock, to touch on this a little bit, what do you think about this accomplishment?
Dude, it's wild. I never thought anyone was gonna even get close to Ray Allen. He was labeled as the greatest shooter of all time, and then you get this scrawny little guy coming out of Davidson with bad ankles, and he just starts lighting it up. And it just he just kept getting better, and you know he found his niche. He worked on his ball handling. He strengthened up his legs, and Steph just came out and he just blew everyone out of the water. And I can't give enough praise to him for coming out and just showing everyone that you can be a 3-point shooter specialist and be a significant player on your team besides that.
Yeah, I mean, Steph Curry, in basketball, we know that we played basketball and everybody talks about this saying, you live by the three, you die by the three. And Steph Curry has completely shattered that stereotype, as well as his splash brother, Klay Thompson, who is going to be coming back hopefully after the All-Star break. He's in the G League right now. Same with Wiseman trying to get back on their feet, back to the Golden State team. But he shattered that. I mean, when I think of Steph Curry, watching him when he was with Davidson, when he went on that NCAA March Madness run, I mean, it was him as the shooting guard at 6'4", and then their point guard was he was a guy from Barrington, in the area around us. So that's pretty exciting to watch. And they had a really good run. I'm not 100% sure if they made it to Final Four or Elite Eight. I think they made it to the Final Four, but from then, Steph Curry was, a great shooter in college. And then he went into the draft. He got drafted like 7th or 8th or something like that. Don't know exactly which one it was, but it wasn't a top 3 pick. So he ends up going to Golden State, and everybody said the same exact thing. Oh, he's too small. He's not athletic. He doesn't play defense. He had all of these negative things thrown his way. I don't know who they compared him to. Brock, you look that up for me. They like to do that. The analysts see a player in the draft and then they compare him to a current or a previous NBA player. I forget who they compared Steph Curry to, but he's had a remarkable career as a player. And it's pretty crazy how he broke that record at Madison Square Garden too, Brock. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, everybody was just waiting there. His dad, mom, it was pretty cool. And another cool thing is, I don't know if you knew this, at the end of the game at the end of the game where he broke his record, he gave Draymond Green and Andre Iguodala these like custom engraved Rolexes to remember the moment and everything, because Draymond and Andre were the two guys on the team that have been there with him when they won the championships and the whole time. So honestly, I mean, Steph Curry, I mean, I never really liked him. He was cocky. I didn't really like his style of game, but as he's gotten older, all I have to do is respect the guy at this point. I have mad respect for him. He's changed the game completely, Albrochta. Oh, yeah. He has changed the game. His 3-point shooting has changed the game to the point where big men in the league, coming from Europe, coming out of college, whatever the case may be, they have thought to themselves, wow, I need to really expand my game. And you saw it just because of Steph Curry's presence and how great of a shooter he was, made everybody that coming into the NBA understand that you need to be able to expand your game and hit the jump shot and hit the 3-pointer. And you see a lot of guys nowadays. Look at guys like Joel Embiid. You look at Jokic. You look at all these all-star big men who are starting to develop their game uh, outside, the paint and go into the 3-point line. So it's been really remarkable to see the transition from him becoming in the league. And like I said earlier, I mean, I praise the guy because he stuck with Golden State. He signed that humongous extension this year, and he's probably going to end his career there. Or he might, he'll bounce around maybe like one or two teams at the end of his career. But
I don't think so. I think he'll ride off into the sunset as a Warrior. There's
I hope
no way
he
that
does.
there's no way, unless he specifically wants to go to another team, there's no way they're gonna let him leave. He's brought so much to that city and to that team and that franchise that they owe the world to him. I mean, he's done so much for them in just star value of making it a household name. Like Golden State Warriors, they're never like that big. There was like a couple years that they were big in like the 80s, I think, or early 90s.
They were
But
when even a little bit after that, when like in their early years when they had like Baron Davis and like Richard Jefferson and like Karolinko, like the old Warriors, and then Curry came in and I think he was with them for like his rookie year or something. But then since then, the Golden State has been an elite powerhouse for a majority of the time that Steph Curry has been there. I mean, it's remarkable. And another crazy thing, Obrakta, is that Steph Curry has made such an impact with the younger community, with like young basketball players. Kids want to be like Steph Curry. And I've seen this as a coach, Obrakta. I see that earlier and earlier, kids are developing a jump shot and a 3-pointer. I mean, back when we played, and we were in 5th, 6th grade, we could barely get the ball up there.
it was all mid range back then. It was
Mid range or take it to the
it was
basket.
always
Now
be
it's
like
crazy.
Kobe, hit that turnaround jumper, be like Jordan. You want to do the flashy dunk. You want to be able to cross people over like Allen Iverson. Now it's all hitting those threes like Steph, hitting them like Curry or like Klay Thompson. And, they really changed the way the league has run. I mean, you can't run with a traditional big man very much anymore just because
They
you
can all
got to
stretch
guard.
the floor now.
You
They
got
can
to
all
guard the
stretch the
three.
floor and shoot.
You
Yeah.
got positions 1 through 4 absolutely need to shoot, and your 5 needs to be able to hit it in clutch. You need to at least have your big man hitting 1 or 2 a week, and that's where it's at right now. I mean, you can't not have 3-point shooting as a major part uh of your battle plan anymore.
Yeah. No, he's you're absolutely right. He's changed the game not only for the guards but for the big man. I mean, you look at everybody in the league. I would say out of the 30 teams in the league, I'd say just about half have a big man, a center that can actually shoot the 3 now. I mean,
Yep.
look at the Pacers. They got Miles Turner. You look at the Bulls. You got Vukovic. You got the Sixers. You got Embiid. You got the Nuggets. You got Jokic. I mean, even the Bucks. You got when Brook Lopez is healthy, he can extend the floor. So
And you got DeMarcus Cousins. He was already stretching the floor back in the day too.
he was with the Kings. He was. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. So
Anthony Davis
overall,
was
it's
too
crazy.
before he went to the Lakers. So I mean, they have made, I don't know if it's for the better, but they've made it so that you have to be able to play small ball, and you have to be much more diverse as a big man as any player. I mean, if you're shooting, they've made it so that if you're shooting less than like 35% in the league, you're a bad 3-point shooter. Like
Yeah.
when we were growing up with like Kobe and Jordan, if you were shooting 30%, you were fantastic. Like that was a
Right.
great 3-point shot. Like an average was like 22%. Now if you're shooting 22%, you're at the edge of the bench.
Right.
Like you're
You're not
useless.
even counted for. Yeah. It's like you're a big man that can shoot 22%. Like, okay, cool. We don't need you. We'll play small ball and we'll throw a 3 or a 4 at the 5. I mean,
Look at Draymond.
Draymond, if you look at how Draymond is, he's a three.
Oh yeah.
And he can play 1 through 5. He's very versatile. He can shoot, he can pass, he can do a lot of things. But overall, man, I'm just really, really excited and very actually very thankful that I was actually able to watch Steph Curry, because you look at us, we weren't able to I mean, we saw Kobe when he was great, but we were pretty young still. But we understood what was going on. And Jordan was even further back. We were really young when that happened. To see and watch no, there's no arguably to see and watch the greatest shooter of all time. And we've watched him through college, through the NBA, even when he was on his run with the FIBA team. I mean, everything and anything, man, just to see the way that guy shoots. He's such a great shooter, Obrakta, because it's repetition.
Yep.
Everything and anything he does is exactly the same. And his work ethic is phenomenal. And he's just a great player. I mean, you could say he's not a good defender. Okay. He's not a good this and that, but he knows his role. He knows he's going to come off. And Obrakta, I'm going to tell you something right now, man. He, you compare him, Ray Allen had the number one 3-point, as many 3-pointers made before Steph Curry passed. And you look at Ray Allen and you look at Steph Curry, and Steph Curry's game is so much more versatile, because I'll tell you right now, Ray Allen did not have the handles Steph Curry had. They both were not very athletic, but overall as a player, here's the thing, what's crazy. Ray Allen and Reggie Miller were specifically designed to shoot threes. That was their job, which is hence why they had the most 3-pointers. But you look at Steph Curry, not only can he shoot the three, he's got top 2 best handles in the league, I would say, compared to Kyrie and Damian Lillard.
Yep.
And he can pass. I mean, dude, he's so versatile. And he broke the 3-point record. He broke the 3-point record of Obrakta, and he also is a top 2 ball handler in the league, and he's an amazing passer. So he's not just one facet of his game. He's amazing at he's the best point guard in the league, right? And he is Obrakta. He's first runner up for MVP right now, which makes a lot of sense. But
that'll be his third one or fourth one?
I don't think has he ever won an MVP?
Never.
He's won a finals. He's won finals MVP for sure.
No finals. Draymond won the first one, and then Kevin Durant won the next 2.
No. It was Iguodala. Iguodala won the first one, and then Durant took the other 2.
Yep.
Has he won a normal MVP?
Oh yeah.
He has. He has
the first unanimous one.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, but it's been so long since he's been there. Now that he's easily playing at an MVP caliber this year, and it's showing, because he broke the 3-point record, obviously. But besides Steph Curry being a phenomenal 3-point shooter, he is a phenomenal point guard, passer, and distributor. I mean, he's great. He's a good player. Like I said, I never really liked him. He's a little cocky, this and that. But as he's grown up and he's gotten older, he's matured a smidge. He matured a lot more, and he's just an elite player. And we can actually say that we grew up watching the greatest shooter of all time, hands down.
So I know you asked me to look up his NBA comparison. So I found his draft on NBA DraftNet. They gave him a mock draft of 7, I think. Big board, he was picked 7 with a 92 overall. His NBA comparison was Muhammad Abdul-Rauf.
Oh, Muhammad Abdul-Rauf. Yeah, he plays in the Big 3. He plays in the big 3, like the 3-on-3 thing with Ice Cube.
Oh yeah.
I think he plays on that. I'm pretty, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure he does. And he's a typical point guard. There's nothing, I don't think his 3-pointers was even comparable to Steph Curry, but no one knew the caliber of a player Steph Curry was when he entered the league. No way. If that's his comparison.
That was Muhammad was shot for a career over 8 seasons. Where's 3-point percentage? About 35%. Steph.
Whoever made that comparison should be fired.
I mean, that's not a bad comparison. If you're shooting 35% in the mid 90s, that's a good 3.
Yeah, but I mean, you could have compared him to like a shooter. They didn't get they can. I mean, he's not that guy's like a prototypical point guard, that type of style, which Steph Curry is now. But if I was one of those people and I looked at Steph Curry's game in college, I would have been like, all right, he's just a shooter. I would have found somebody that was just a shooter. Like maybe you could turn maybe a Reggie Miller. You could compare him to Reggie, compare him to, but they didn't know he was going to be the point guard he was going to be. They classified him as kind of like a Jimmer Fredette, like an undersized shooting guard who just shoots the ball. And that's what they looked at Steph as. And he developed his game to be one of the best passers in the league and having one of the best handles in the league. So nobody saw that coming because his handles and his passing were not good at Davidson because he was carrying the load offensively and he was shooting the ball from ranges that we've never seen except for when Jimmer Fredette came in when he was shooting. Like those two guys are like top long distance shooters of college basketball, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, at Davidson, I've got his college pulled up. He was
averaged like 30 a game, probably.
He was averaging, where's points? 25 a game, almost about 3.5 assists, with about 4.5 rebounds a game, on 87% free throw, about 53% from the field, 2-point, and then about 42 or 41% three.
For college stats, that's pretty good, OB. The passing, obviously, he only averaged 3 assists, which makes a lot of sense because he didn't really have anybody to pass to on Davidson. He took the load offensively.
And then he made 457 2-point shots and 414 threes in college. He made almost as many threes as he did twos. And he shot it at that 41%, 414 threes on 1,004 attempts. He scored 2,600 points, 2,635 in college.
Well, another thing to keep in mind too, Abrakta, back then, you know how now they have, they have the NBA 3-point line, they have the high school, and they have the college.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, they didn't have a college one; it was the high school one. So he was shooting that percentage for high school threes, but now that's like a layup for him or a jump, like an easy jump shot for him. So keep in mind that the college line was not where it is now. It was the high school one. It was all the same, but still, I mean, nothing to take away from Steph Curry. Think about it, Proctor. When you first saw Steph Curry, did you really think he was going to turn into the player that he did? Honestly, I didn't, dude. When I looked at Steph Curry, I didn't think so.
I mean, I definitely thought
his potential, but
I definitely thought he was going to be a great shooter. I thoroughly enjoyed them, especially in their first playoff run in I think it was 2013 or 2014, whichever one, when they beat the Clippers, I think, and then they lost to the Lakers, and they beat the Clippers in I think 5, and then they lost to the Lakers in 7, and they were looking like they were going to really upset the Lakers. I really enjoyed that series. That's when I really started liking Steph, and then that's when we started doing the fantasy, and that's when I was picking Steph every year in fantasy because no one's
I remember that.
Everyone's like, no, he's not gonna keep that up. He's not gonna keep that streak up, and I'm like, Steph, and then he was giving me 100 points a game in fantasy, and I was like, you guys are all losers.
Yeah, when we did fantasy, your first pick was always him or Jokic. Always.
Jokic.
Those stat stuffers, man. But I mean, honestly, man, when I saw Steph Curry, I really didn't think he was gonna be. I didn't think he was gonna turn out to be the greatest shooter of all time. I didn't. I thought he was gonna be probably an average point guard that can just shoot the ball really well. And the guy takes it to a different level. I mean, if you see the way he shoots, he's got the quickest release, Brockton. It's so similar, and it's just time. And we know this, man. Shooting is all about repetition. It's all about consistency, and he puts a different aspect to it. I mean, the guy is a freak of nature. But no, I did not think he was going to be the greatest shooter of all time coming out of college. I thought he was going to be a good player, but not what he's turned out to be. But overall, man, he has been a pleasure to watch. And I'm just excited to watch him this year. I mean, he's having a great year. The Gold State in general is having a great year,
Oh yeah.
man. They're doing phenomenal right now.
Well, he's at, as of recording this video, his total is now at 2,977. I can't wait for him to break 3,000 this year. It's definitely going to happen. He's in his 13th season. He's 33 years old. What do you think? What do you think his ceiling is going to be for 3-pointers?
Like ever?
Yeah. What do you think when his career is all said and done? Where do you think his 3-point
How many does he have right
is?
now? How many things he have right now?
2,977 and
2,000?
yeah,
Like 4,000.
2,977.
I say I say 4,000. I say he's gonna get 4,000 because I'll tell you right now, Brock. We talked about this earlier at dinner. Um, Shooting's the last to go. Look at Ray Allen. I mean, Steph Curry's not going to be the point guard that he is when he gets older, but he's going to be the guy that's just going to be going to come off threes and just shoot. He will then eventually translate into that Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, Kyle Korver kind of style later on. He's just a great point guard that just happens to be the greatest shooter. But when he gets older, he's not going to be the point guard he is. He's going to come off the bench. He's going to brush off screens. He's going to curl. He's going to pop. He's going to just shoot threes. So he's going to be literally Kyle Korver, Ray Allen role. So here's one question I have for you, Brock. Hold on. Sorry. I have one question for you. Steph Curry is how old right now?
33.
33. How long do you think he will, A, consistently be a great point guard and be an all-star caliber player? And B, how long do you think he will be in the NBA for?
I think
like how many more great years does he have? How many more years of an all-star does he have?
All-star years?
All-star caliber.
Probably 5 or 6.
Okay, that's fair.
That'll put him at about 39. Where LeBron's at, I think because he's still going to be a great, regardless of the fact if he's still the point guard, he can easily slide into that 2 slot anywhere in the NBA and still be an all-star. He'll still light it up no matter from whatever range. He can still run off screens. He might lose his handles a little bit. But even then, if he works on his handles every day, I know he does like the tennis ball, like dribbling with the tennis ball, passing tennis balls back and forth, and it's ridiculous. That's all muscle memory. He's not going to lose it. He'll lose a step in his quickness, but if he's got people like Draymond setting great screens for him, he's gonna be dribbling around like everybody. And we just saw Vince Carter. He just retired a couple of years ago at 41.
Yeah, something like that.
And Dirk went to how far?
38,
40 range. I think
no, it wasn't the 40.
I think
or late 30s.
Either way, I think Steph can play at a high level into his late 30s, 38, 39. And then if he wants to keep playing, he's going to be shooting lights out into his early 40s. And
wow.
I think you're lowballing that 3-point number. I think he can easily hit 5,000 if he just keeps shooting. Like I'm
just taking. You got to take into account injuries. You got to take into account injuries, and you have to take into account playing time because his playing time, as he get older, is going to be less. And with less playing time, gives you less opportunities to get in the game. And with less opportunities in the game, you're not going to shoot as much. That's just my thing. I'm just thinking that. But you really think he can hit 5,000? Maybe, probably he could.
He's averaged the past minus, I think 2019, 2020 is when he got hurt, right?
Yeah, it was the wrist.
Yeah,
wrist injury.
He's been averaging 5 threes a game for the last 4 seasons, minus that one when he hurt his wrist, and then he hasn't averaged less than 4 threes a game since 2015. 2016, he averaged 5.1. And he's been 5.1, 4.1, 4.2, 5.1, 2.4, 5.3, 5.4.
That's insane. That's insane.
Of 45%, 41%, 42%, 43%. Then they dropped that injury year 24%. Then 42%. He's at 39, he's at 39.9. So 40% right now this year. So I think as long as he keeps his form and he takes good shots, he can easily hit 5,000. if he plays that long. If he plays for the next 10 years, there's no way, there's no doubt he's not going to make that at least 4,500, if not more.
Uh, I I guess we'll see. I mean, I agree and I disagree with you, but I mean, it all depends, right? So, um, 9 o'clock. All right. So, thanks everybody for watching. This was a special edition episode of Coach Mike and OB podcast. We will see you guys for the next episode 5. Thanks.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this episode of Coach Mike and OB. Full episodes of this podcast will be released every Monday, and segments such as this will be released every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.